Welcome to this live this live video about taking retreat. We're broadcasting from Santa Monica, California, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. And rather than talking about retreat, let's actually retreat. So if you'd like, you can join me and notice what's around. I'm sitting on the cool green grass. My feet, I'm barefoot. My fingers are touching the grass. My feet are touching the grass. It's what Deepak Chopra calls earthing. I am earthing. And I'm in what's called Palisades Park. And there's lots of dogs and joggers. And you might see a fence behind me. And if we were to walk over to that fence, what you would see would be, hi Bill, hi Rachel. What you would see is the ocean. We would overlook PCH, and then you would be looking at the Pacific Ocean. We are right now joining me at the lip of the continent. And the reason I want to talk about retreat is I just took one yesterday and it really changed me and how I'm feeling about my life. And I'm going to be hosting 2 retreats soon. And so I want to welcome you to come if you're feeling called. Do you hear the crow going? Hi Bill. There's a crow in this tree nearby. Gorgeous tree. I'm going to show it to you because it's so lovely. Can you see how great that tree is? So yesterday I was talking with a close friend and I explained to her, because I had a stressful week. More stress than usual. And I explained to her that I felt a tiredness that sleep was not curing. I've had full nights of sleep and yet I still felt this sort of, I can only call it a spiritual weariness, an agitation within, an anxiety. And I even said to my friend, I don't even know what to do to help myself. I don't know how to care for myself. I know there's eating, there's napping, there's talking, which I was doing to my friend, and there was something more that I needed. And so I had the luxury to do something spontaneous on a Saturday. And I realized that luxury is transportation, that luxury is time, and that luxury is cash. And so I drove myself to Olympic Spa, which is a Korean women's spa in Los Angeles, near Crenshaw and Olympic Boulevard. And I gave myself hours to spend as much time as I wanted there. And that time was spent with no technology, and there was hot baths made of healthy good things, and tea to sip, and a Himalayan sea salt room to sit in, and hot places to sit in, and steamy places to sit in, and an ice cold pool to plunge in, and a place to take naps. I woke up not knowing where I was. I really rarely wake up from a nap in a spa. So I was just like, huh. I'm like, oh, I'm at a retreat. This is wonderful. And I gotta tell you, I slept so well last night. The anxiety has left me. I feel centered and whole. I brought a book, not an electronic book. I really felt it was necessary to be away from media. So I brought a book that I could hold. And there was even healthy food that this place offers. So I had soup and veggie sushi and kimchi. And I stayed as long as I wanted. I even said, Jean, is there anything else you'd want to do? Let me see if I can spend more time here, or how about here? Until finally I was just full. And I felt able to be more quiet. And so I ask you, as you are with me here in Santa Monica, this beautiful park, do you need a retreat? And what helps you feel like you're on retreat? For me, there are some elements. One is a sense of freedom, that my time is my own. The other is a stretch of time. I am quite grateful. You know, some people, it might take 2 weeks of retreat to feel like they've really disconnected. But for me, just a few hours is enough. Besides time and it being unstructured, an environment where others around me are also being peaceful. So this Korean spa is very strict, and they even have signs, enjoy the silence. And so I like to be around others who are also in the same bubble as I. We are all relaxing here. We're all here for peacefulness. And then a freedom from care, a freedom from my to-do lists. So that was a very sacred, carved out time. What do you need to feel like you've taken a break from your day to day? I'm going to add that to my list of what I need, which is that it also needs to feel like a departure from my day to day. And going to that place, I don't think I've been there for a year, so it really felt like I was stepping away from my habits. It felt good. And so what I am looking to do is to create that experience for you, if you'd like to join me. I'm offering 2 retreats, one on March 15th and one on April 17th. They are both Sundays, and they're called Cuddle Retreats. There's no touch required, and yet it's a welcome place for affection and compassion and kindness. So the one in March is a women's retreat, and that is for all female identified people, completely inclusive of trans women. And that is for seasoned cuddlers who are newer to the scene, and those who are first timers as well. And it is all day on a Sunday. And there are those who might be watching this who are not women, who might feel a stab of feeling not included. And so I want to talk to you, those of you who are like, well, I don't identify as a woman, I'm not a woman, and I want to go to that retreat. Why am I being excluded? It could feel that way. So I wanted to explain that in terms of a bigger picture. The bigger picture is that when it comes to troublesome experiences with touch, women experience that more than anyone else on the planet. Although plenty of people across the gender spectrum have had troublesome experiences related to touch. But for some of us, and I'm going to speak for myself, I've had trauma related to touch. And there are some people who would love to try a cuddle event, but going to an event that is inclusive of everyone is too much of a leap. It's just too confronting or scary or uncomfortable. And so having a retreat for women only might be the only way certain people will ever attend an event like this. And so I want to create space for it. But also, if you attend Cuddle Sanctuary events, you might notice that sometimes there are more men than women. Sometimes it's not always the case, but I would say more often than not, it leans in that direction. And so if you're somebody who wants more women to feel safe at our events, then you will be a thumbs up and very encouraging of the women you love and know to attend a women's retreat, because we practice the skills necessary to feel safe and comfortable at other events where everybody is invited. So please be encouraging, even just in your, I invite you to try that on, that rather than feeling excluded, instead go, good for them. Maybe some of them will come and feel more comfortable coming to the events that I attend. So consider that. Now the event in April is for everybody, April 17th. Now this one actually has a requirement, is that you attend at least 2 Cuddle Sanctuary socials before you're qualified to attend that everybody event. And what I'm looking to create there is that we all have a shared vocabulary about consent, about taking care of ourselves in the space, that we all have a shared knowledge and shared language. And so we can deepen our experience together quicker. Now, for those of you who are watching this video from far away, maybe you don't live in Los Angeles, I assure you that these experiences are worth taking a trip. So whether it's a flight or a road trip, I think you will find it so worth your investment. And that's why I'm making this ahead of time. Hopefully this gives you some time. From when I'm posting this, it's 3 weeks before the women's event and maybe about 7 weeks before the other. So you can perhaps put together your thoughts about attending. So as I mentioned earlier, there's a fence behind me, and if you overlook it, you can see the Pacific and the beach. And I mention this now because our cuddle events are going to be at a venue called the Love Dome in Venice. And it is just a few blocks from the beach. Now, each of our Sunday retreats will have a 90-minute lunch. And if you want to pack your lunch with you, then you can just head straight to the beach and put your feet in the sand, bring a picnic blanket, maybe some layers to make sure that you're comfortable, and make the beach and nature and the ocean and the negative ions, or is it positive ions? Somebody correct me, but the wonderful ions that happen at the beach that help us feel better. I think it's negative. Maybe it's positive, somebody help me. But you can soak in nature and have that be part of your retreat day. Also, where we're having our retreat, the Love Dome, it's also steps away from Abbott Kinney. I'm going to spell that for you in case you want to look it up. ABBOTTKINNEY. And Abbott Kinney is a famous strip of a few blocks in Venice of world-class shopping and dining, right close to our doors, like a couple blocks here, a couple blocks there. So there's places to dine close by if that for you is the way that you want to retreat. So how do you find out about these retreats? You can just go to Cuddle Sanctuary and click events and then special events, because this is special and these retreats don't come often. And when these retreats are over, attendees say, when is your next one? So it has been many months. It might have been up to a year since our last retreat. It's so long ago, I cannot remember. So you might want to jump on this now to register. Registration has 3 tiers: early bird, Cuddle Club member, and the regular rate. Right now, as I say this, the early bird pricing is ready and available for you right now. And for those of you who are Cuddle Club regulars and you're coming all the time and you know who you are, you get a discount for being a Cuddle Club member, and thank you for your support. So I'm going to end this video, which I've really enjoyed creating and having you be a part of, by getting back into the sensuality and the comfort and the peacefulness and the ease of what a retreat experience can bring. So one way I do that is by breathing and connecting to my senses. So I'll tell you what I'm feeling, and you're welcome to connect with what is around you. So once again, I'm noticing the coolness of the grass. And as I look at the screen, I see behind me just beautiful green grass and trees. I'm breathing in through my nose to check in with if I can sense any sense. Can I smell the ocean or the grass or the trees? What I'm smelling is, I would just call fresh air, just fresh. I tune in to what I'm hearing. I hear the footfalls of people on a walking trail in front of me. Earlier I heard a bird singing. And because I'm in an urban oasis, cars aren't too far away, so I hear the cars passing by. I'm sensing my sense of taste, and what I'm tasting is this feeling like, now that I've attuned to what's going on in my mouth, I'm thirsty, so I want to drink, I want to refresh myself. Cool air on my hands, relaxing my shoulders. Thank you for joining me on this mini Sunday retreat. I hope that you can perhaps join me on a Sunday in March or April. We can retreat together.